1, 2, or 3, I think it was actually the first one, there was this open field we were supposed to meet on. So the other army was lined up, and all of a sudden up this road comes the Ansteorran army in like single or double file, lining both sides. We kept coming, and kept coming, and kept coming. The other army's going, where are these people coming from? And we kept coming. I think we outnumbered them about 3 to 1. And they looked over and went, oops. No, we only used a third of the army at a time just to make it fair. But it was impressive. And I miss the Ansteorran army coming out in black and gold like we used to.
Yeah, that was fun.
I mean, it's something.
So
it's a sea of black and gold.
So if y'all have any questions or anything, or have a story or person you want to hear about, or just ask, feel free to raise your hands.
I've always heard a story, since we're talking about Gulf War, about a Gulf War that got rained out,
Yeah,
and a lone squire and knight won that war. Can you tell me about that?
I can tell you about that one. So this is my favorite Gulf War story. Good King Gunther. Gunther the First. Sarah Penrose.
One of our best kings.
One of our best kings. I have to say he had excellent taste in knights. As he invited me. We had risen an army, and we had gone forth to Meridies to stop the Trimaran horde, and we had stopped them in their tracks. Well, actually more, the act of God of causing the massive amounts of rain had stopped both armies in tracks, but they had failed to reach Ansteorra, so we counted that as a success. However, Gunther was of melancholy because he had yet to trounce on the Trimarans as they should have been trounced on the field. And we decided that the war was going to be called off because there was too much mud for the horses to be drawn through for any fighting to happen. And so we were stomping around at the time, throwing armor back into baggage and taking down tents, and the rain was coming down, and Gunther was stewing, and I was His Majesty's champion at the time, so I got to see it up close. I was but a squire at the time. My best friend, Sir Ulrich Drake, who you may now know as Duke Quintus Draconis, had just received his belt and chain within a week or two prior. Now Drake and I were like these parents at the time, and I knew I was coming up to getting my belt too if I managed to not screw things up. But again, we were all packing things up when word suddenly came in the darkness that the Trimarans were holding a home game. The Trimaran king had gathered his warriors and were fighting in a huge Trimaran longhouse. And Drake and I looked at each other and said, let's get on this. And so we cracked up as we're going through camp, picking up armor. I didn't even have half mine. I don't know what I grabbed. And we stormed our way. We made our way past the Trimaran guards in the tent, and we heard the clash of battle, and men screaming, and roars going, and cheers going. We said, this is the place. And so we came up to the Trimaran the Trimaran lodge, and kicked the doors open. Well, it actually opened the doors as it came, but bear with me here. So, and as we kicked the doors open and declared ourselves to be the chivalric and non-belted champions of Ansteorra, and we did challenge His Majesty Trimaris, his champions that day. And they did, of course, welcome us with open arms, as members of the chivalry and brotherhood, brothers of arms would do, and threw us in there against His Majesty's chosen champions, which we defeated quickly. Bam! On the ground. Bam! On the ground. And we took our leave, and we walked back to Gunther, His Majesty Gunther, who was there in council with the great king of Gareth of Meridies, and all those kings and princes from around the known world, figuring out what they were going to do with their armies. We walked in there, and we kicked the door open. Well, actually, we just opened the door. Sounds better. To kick the door open. We kicked the door open, and Drake said, Your Majesty, as your belted and unbelted champions, we have won the chivalric war point, and we deliver it to you. And since there was no other war points that war, we won that war. One knight, one squire.
A little bit more exposition.